On the previous episode of Scale Garage, we began building the Skyline R32 GTR. We did a bunch of body work, painted a base coat on the body, and painted the body red. Now we're going to continue by starting with some carbon fiber decals. I decided to go ahead and make the front lip carbon fiber as to just being black. To do this, I took out some Tamiya tape and carefully traced around the lip using a pencil just to create a template for the carbon fiber decal. After creating a template of the tape, I transferred it over to a Scale Motorsports carbon fiber decal and then placed it on the body. For those that don't know, the decal is a water-based decal that you place in water, and then after soaking it, you place it on whatever you're placing it on. In this scenario, the body. After that, you take some cotton swabs and essentially squeegee out the water and get it to sit flush on the body. This is a very tedious process for parts like this front lip, as there's a bunch of bends and curves and it's not necessarily just a straight up flush surface. But after using the Q-tip to get it to sit flush for some time, it should come out looking perfect. After the carbon fiber decal had fully dried, it had way too many wrinkles and I struggled to actually cut in between the little vents on the lip, and I just all around did not like it, so I sanded it down with some 1500 grit sandpaper and we're now going to repaint the body. I don't have the finesse for it, unfortunately. Moving over to repainting the body, I wanted to keep it a color that was very similar to the red, so I decided to go with metallic orange. Since the body already has 3 coats of the red on it, I only did 2 coats as I didn't want to have the panel lines end up being too shallow, and I didn't want any of the spots to basically be too inundated with paint. The first coat was relatively light as I just wanted to get the orange onto the body and cover up the red entirely. Moving over to the second coat, I hit the body with a relatively heavy coat, making sure that everything was fully covered and no red was able to be visible from underneath. I also hit the front with a harder coat than the rest of the body, as the lip needed to be covered more so than the rest of the body. And after spraying the second coat on the body, even though the red and the orange are both metallic colors, I definitely noticed that the orange has a little bit more of like a metallic shiny type of finish. Before I could move over to clear coating the body, I had to get my revenge on this front lip, and instead of doing it carbon this time, I decided to just hold that L and paint it black. I let the colors dry on the body for around an hour, and now we can move over to clear coating it using some Mr. Color GX Super Clear. For the first coat, I used a 30-70 ratio of paint to thinner and hit the body with the mist coat. After letting the body dry for 15 minutes, I moved over to the second coat using the same ratio but hit the body with a little bit of a thicker coat. For the final coat, I used a 20 to 80% ratio just to have the paint come out a little bit thinner, and I hit it with the heavy coat. With airbrushing out of the way, I let the body sit for 2 days to fully dry, and now we can move over to wet sanding and polishing it. To wet sand it, I'm starting out with some 2000 grit sandpaper, and I'm just carefully wet sanding the clear coat, trying my best not to actually sand the orange that's underneath. After this, I hit it with 3000 and 4000 just to get it as smooth as possible. To polish the body, I'm using Tamiya's 3-stage polishing compound, starting with coarse, then moving over to fine, and then finally finishing with the finish compound. With polishing out of the way, that last thing that needs to be done to the body is painting the window trims black, and to do this I just used some Tamiya tape and mashed it off, and using a very low pressure I hit it with the airbrush. After letting everything dry for 24 hours, this is the finished product. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.